National League North club, Chester Football Club.
Yes.
Right, they hired a general manager. Not that long ago, earlier this week, in fact. And guess how long it was before they decided to fire him?
Don't tell me.
24 hours.
24 hours.
Well, that's 24 hours after his arrival. Stephen Jones, a man who was appointed in the role of general manager of Chester Football Club on Monday, has now been fired on Tuesday. He's 60 years old. He was announced as the new general manager at last week's City Fans United meeting. Started in his post on Monday. Here's what the club statement says. Chester Football Club can confirm that following a number of issues that have come to the club's attention over the past 24 hours, Stephen Jones has left employment with the club with immediate effect.
The smack of firm management, I call that.
Yeah, well, hang on a second. Then he just hired the bloke, right? As part of the recruitment process, significant checks and due diligence were completed based upon the information provided upon application. The issues, however, only came to light following his commencement in post, and the club has acted swiftly once they came out to resolve these matters.
Smack of
firm
management.
Well, a load of old rubbish. So they clearly didn't do any checks on this.
Don't tell me.
24 hours club.
Yes.
Right, they hired a general wise to it, and they're not as successful. So the moped gangs that you used to read about every single day have more or less stopped operating. So as usual, the police are a dollar short and a day late.
What a ridiculous statement.
I'm afraid it's true.
Ridiculous.
I'm afraid it's true. You live in your little bubble of stockbroker.
There's still plenty of criminology activity going on.
Activity.
On people who are stealing mopeds. Now,
I'll tell you what I'm more interested in. What on earth is going on in your local town, right?
Yeah.
The National League North club, Chester Football Club.
Yes.
Right, they hired a general manager. Not that long ago, earlier this week, in fact. And guess how long it was before they decided to fire him?
Don't tell me.
24 hours.
24 hours. Well, that's
24 hours after his arrival. Stephen Jones, a man who was appointed in the role of general manager of Chester Football Club on Monday, has now been fired on Tuesday. He's 60 years old. He was announced as the new general manager at last week's City Fans United meeting. Started in his post on Monday. Here's what the club statement says. Chester Football Club can confirm that following a number of issues that have come to the club's attention over the past 24 hours, Stephen Jones has left employment with the club with immediate effect.
The smack of firm management, I call that.
Yeah, well, hang on a second. Then he just hired the bloke, right? As part of the recruitment process, significant checks and due diligence were completed based upon the information provided upon application. The issues, however, only came to light following his commencement in post, and the club has acted swiftly once they came out to resolve these matters.
Smack of
well,
firm
a load
management.
of old rubbish. So they clearly didn't do any checks on this bloke. As soon as he got the job, somebody rang him up and said, "Hey, are you sure about this?" As apparently, here's what we're told: the parting of the company came with immediate effect because Chester FC were made aware of historical issues with Mr. Jones's employment history relating to the mortgage industry.
Doesn't sound to me like Stephen Jones is his proper name anyway.
Well, I don't know about that.
Jones is such a popular name in that part of the world.
You think he might be sort of a bit of a miscreant? Well, all I can say is...
The guy's 60, so he sounds as though he's a bit washed up anyway, you know.
How old are you?
Sorry?
How old are you?
What's irrelevant?
Well, you're more than 60, so if he's washed up at 60...
No, please, early middle age.
No, nobody knows how old you are. You've already told people on various podcasts you were born in 1954.
Early middle age, and all I'm saying is that... so
are you washed up or not?
No, I'm not washed up, because certain careers have certain age parameters, and to be a general manager of a football club at 60 is, in my view, an inappropriate age for that position anyway.
Are you saying that people who are of a certain age should not be working in football?
I think it's horses for courses. Yeah, of course, people of a certain age. By the way, Jimmy...
What about Jimmy who?
Jimmy, the kit man at Everton. Right?
Well, I don't know anybody called Jimmy the Kit Man.
Jimmy the Kit Man.
Well, I don't know him.
Jimmy the Kit, we all know him as.
Really?
And he's been the longest-serving kit man in the history of English football.
And how old is he?
Everton's kit man. He's 70.
Well, you're saying he's washed up?
No, he's not washed up at all, because he's still as fit as a fiddle.
Is he?
Runs around. Lent me a pair of shorts and a pair of socks, which I've still got. Everton socks, Everton shorts.
He loaned them to you?
Yeah, but I took them home.
Given them back?
No, I took them home.
Well, hang on. It's now stolen property from Everton Football Club.
Well, it was at Stevenage, actually. Do you remember when I did that penalty shootout involving...
Yes, we all remember that. Yeah, you didn't score, did you?
Old Joey Barton and everybody.
You didn't score on that occasion?
No, I didn't. I couldn't get the ball through a hole in the wall.
People of a certain age and whether they should be doing their jobs. What about Gordon Taylor? Haven't you heard you say much about Gordon Taylor?
Well, I've been supportive of Gordon Taylor, and I've been very, very clear in my position with Gordon Taylor.
Right, okay.
Gordon Taylor, in my view, has been an outstanding representative of professional footballers in this country for very many years.
Well, a lot of them don't seem to think that now.
Well, some of them have expressed an opinion one way, and some have expressed an opinion the other. All I'm telling you is I can only take Gordon Taylor as I know him, as I've experienced him over the many years that, probably 20 years that
do you think it's a bit of a witch hunt against him then?
I'm not saying there's a witch hunt against him. What I'm saying is that, the taller you stand, the more likely you are to be shot at.
And do you know about anything about that?
Gordon Taylor is an eminent football administrator, has had huge success in the organisation he's run, the PFA, and to my mind, I think there is an unfair amount of criticism heading his way at the moment.
Now, you're going to like this from Minor. He says, I reckon publicity given to the moped muggies by Mike Parry after being attacked was a turning point.
I think it was.
Let's hope they knock more off their bikes.
Yeah, I think it was. I thank you very much indeed.
This is the kind of activity you're encouraging.
No, listen, I don't want anybody to get injured, but if you play with fire, you get burnt. And if you indulge in criminality and criminal activities, it's very right of the police to say, what's the best way to stop them? Knock them off their bikes. Now, people...
Tom says this. Let's just hope there's no more fake certificates from Mike Parry tonight.
There won't be any fake certificates.
Have you got any fake certificates in?
Of course I haven't got any fake certificates. I'll bring them in. Now then, you can, of course, text us on 81089.
What about?
Or you can,
What do you want them to text you about?
I want people to know if they support my support
that's ridiculous.
for knocking people off their bikes.
It doesn't
Police
matter.
cars used as raid instruments to knock people off their bikes is a good thing.
You can't encourage
that.
that.
Tweet us, please, at the two mics, at IROMG, which stands rather pompously for the Independent Republic of Mike Graham, or at Mike Parry 8, which, of course, the way you get through to me, the Porkmeister, OK?
All right.
And we want to hear from you,
what I want to know
I expect your support.
What I want to know from you is, what have you got in for Roy Keane? Why is it you don't like him? We haven't got time to answer now because we're out of time, but we are going to be speaking coming up to an expert in Irish football, because you seem to be rather surprised that Mick McCarthy's been offered the job, and I don't know why, because, of course, he would be the obvious choice.
I'm not surprised.
He would be the obvious choice.
I'm saying it's ironic that, Roy Keane did his best to try and get rid of Mick McCarthy from the job when he disgracefully walked out of the Irish World Cup camp at the start of this century. When was it? It was 2002, wasn't it?
It was,
in Japan.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid the chickens have come home to roost for Roy Keane, a dark man.
Well, that's what you keep saying. I don't know what you mean by that,
but
we'll discover
sultry,
what Porky
and
means
brooding
later.
man, in my opinion.
08717 223344. We'll take your calls coming up on talkSPORT. Maybe Chester could do with him. They seem like it could do with the firm hand of proper management up there after what's gone on.
I think we should understand that the fiasco that's happened to Chester is not actually the manager who puts a tracksuit on and goes out on the pitch with the players. He is the general manager of the club.
Yes, I know, but that's even more serious, isn't it?
Well, what's more serious is that you alluded to the fact that it may have had something to do with the man's
mortgage industry.
And of course, mortgages involve lots of money.
They do indeed.
And if you're the general manager, yes, I do.
How many mortgages have you got?
I haven't got any.
None.
If you
so you own loads of property, right?
What?
But you've got no mortgages on any of them.
No.
So that means if you decided to liquidate your property, property empire, you would actually be a millionaire.
No. I have a property portfolio investment, property investment portfolio. That's all. Okay.
If you sold all of your property now. Today,
no.
How much would you have?
Well, listen, mate. If you sold all your possessions today, how much would you have? You know
Probably
what I mean?
Not that much.
No, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's
It
irrelevant.
does.
What I'm saying is,
it's not irrelevant.
What I'm saying is,
I've got a story here, right, that says that millionaires are absolute and utter narcissists. They think that they're special. They think that they are people who are better than everybody else. And I would suggest to you that because you are a millionaire and a narcissist, you fit very, very nicely into that particular category.
Almost every.
Are you denying that you're a narcissist?
Absolutely.
You're not a millionaire either.
Almost everybody of my age in my social strata.
There's nobody else in your social strata.
Yeah, in my social.
The table for one in Wetherspoons.
No. In my social strata is probably a millionaire.
That's not true.
It is.
Because... Are you actually serious?
I'm absolutely serious.
Are you telling me that everyone listening to this show at the age of 63 is a millionaire?
I'm not 63.
What age are you then?
I'm not. I'm in early middle age, and what I'm saying is because. People of my generation were lucky enough to be able to buy property very cheaply, maybe up to 40 years ago or something like that, right? That they have become wealthy through the massive increase in the value of property.
I see.
And so almost everybody on my social strata level, in my age bracket, will be a millionaire,
absolute
in
rubbish.
my view.
Absolute rubbish.
There's millions of millionaires in this country.
Really?
You know that, don't you?
Is
millions.
That true?
Yeah,
really?
Definitely, yeah.
Well, I think you're absolutely entirely wrong.
No, I don't think I am.
You live in the very bubble of southeast England, which is, of course, a property magnet and a place where you can get very wealthy. Not everybody has made a fortune out of property just because they happen to be the same age as you.
Property prices are going up faster in the north of England than they are in the south at the moment, OK? I can tell you that for sure.
How do you know that?
I know that because I keep my eye on the ball about all things
property
property.
Up there, have you?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes, but
Whereabouts?
Well, that's irrelevant,
Why?
isn't it? You know, because
why is it irrelevant?
Look, I don't ask you about, you know, where you invest your money. Why are you always
I don't
going?
invest my money anywhere.
Well, that's because you spend it all.
Well, I've got people to look after.
You spend it all on £180 bottles of champagne.
I have children to look after.
Yes,
right?
yes. Lots of children to look after. You have abandoned most of them in America.
That's not true. You have nobody to look after because you've always been a selfish narcissist millionaire, and that's the way it goes.
Why do you have to be so insulting like that?
Oh, because you've just called me bad names as well.
No. I don't get it. You know, you've got a real problem. You have, and that is that
I have. Sitting on my right.
No,
that's my problem.
You resent anybody, you know, who gets on in life.
Not
you
at
resent people who've made something of their life.
Not at all.
You resent those who could call themselves proudly a winner.
So you're a millionaire.
Listen, it doesn't matter whether I'm or not. Life is all about whether you win or not. And as far as I'm concerned, winning is like breathing to me, okay? And that gives you a sense of
status. Is that why you're nearly dead?
And standing in life.